And we are live.
We're live.
We are live. Okay, so
And this is Past the Aisle with Kevin and Meg.
yeah,
And today we're speaking about trust
trust. Yeah,
versus mistrust, or is just trust and mistrust?
yeah. I would. I wrote some stuff down, and I forgot to bring it. Okay, so yeah. Actually, you were saying, yeah, I wanted to talk about trust because you felt that you were. Well, I'll ask you. Why did you want to talk about trust today?
Yeah, like throughout our entire career, right?
Yeah.
So far, and then once there was always trust and mistrust throughout our entire career in a way that.
Can you fix your mic so that see that flat part on the mic? Sorry to interrupt you, but
Say it like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be like all up in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Right here?
So you can move this thing up a little bit for you.
So it's covering my nose?
No. Yeah, right there, right there. Good.
Okay.
Cool. Yes.
So yeah, throughout our entire career, like there's always trust and mistrust when you're just working with people. You know, you're working with people that isn't you, obviously. Oops, my button. Any button this?
I didn't
All
see
right.
it.
All
I
right.
didn't see it.
So yeah, it's like you're working with someone that's not you, and someone that doesn't have your eye, because photography, it's so subjective. It's an art.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to train someone, right, and when they don't, get the job done,
Yeah.
then it builds some mistrust there, right? Or if they did it incorrectly like 3 times, then it built some mistrust there.
Okay.
So
Well, why don't you give me a specific example? You can use me. Okay, you can use me. Don't use anybody else.
But I'm just saying, like, so over this past week, I was finding my challenges of not to feel mistrusted.
Mistrusting or
Mistrusting, yeah.
okay, of somebody else.
When, either working with you,
Yeah.
just because we're seeing a trend that's happening in weddings, and the statistics are showing that people aren't, investing as much in saying flowers or.
We'll talk about that later. 'Cause
Yeah, we'll talk
I
more
did write
about
that
it.
down. Yeah, for sure.
But just saying that. So I'm not sure if you're marketing enough, or are we marketing the correct way? I know there's no correct way. It's just a matter of trial and error, but just trusting that is it going to work or is it not going to work. So all those things was going through my head, trying to find how to overcome that situation.
Right.
So I kept it to myself. Besides, usually back in the day, I'll start talking off tangent, saying, "Oh, did you do this? Did you do that?"
Yeah.
Right. So I try to fix myself from actually.
Oh, this is when you were telling me about billboards. Right?
No, it's not about billboards. It's not relating to that. It's relating. Did you do the work in marketing?
Yeah.
And what you'll always say is like, "Yeah, I did it. I did it.
Yeah.
Don't worry." Yeah.
That's really loud.
Oh. Should I just cover it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Sorry. You guys are going to hear a garage because, yeah. We were trying to give Kevin more light. Hey, it's done.
Okay. I'm back.
I'm back. Okay, cool.
All right. I don't know if that was like if that even makes any sense.
Well, let me ask some questions so we can help clarify.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you were facing your challenge of being mistrusting recently because you're seeing a trend in, or you read something that told you people were not investing in weddings the way that they used to.
Yeah.
And it pushed you to ask me, am I marketing enough?
Are we hustling enough? Are we making the right moves, the right changes in the way that people can see the value of our work and the value of the people behind the work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you ask that question, what are you really asking? Because like I told you many times before, it's like, how can you really know?
You can't know.
You can't really know, right? So like
It's
to ask that of somebody else, like if you weren't going to do it and you didn't have all the answers, like how would you expect other people to have all the answers, right?
yeah.
So no matter if you're hiring like an expert or somebody who's like a teensy bit more knowledgeable about whatever the subject is, like there's always going to be a risk, right? Like of something not working,
Yeah.
right? Like Instagram.
Yeah.
Like I think your strategy on Instagram is all good and fine, but it's all, I think it's like how do you define success? And that's probably something that you have to clarify for yourself too, which I always see you struggle with, which is like how you define success for yourself, meaning like, before it meant, do I have a house? Do I have my own car? Can I pay all my bills on time? Like
Yeah.
that meant success for you before, right?
Yeah.
And then now it's like, or before too, it was also like, am I an award-winning photographer? Am I a featured blog photographer?
Yeah.
And so I think it may be really, really important again. And I'm trying to find the ways to explain to you how to clarify what you want to do, right? Like,
so those were the goals before.
Exactly.
And I feel
so
like
now,
now that you accomplished those goals,
so what is
now you have
success
new
for
goals.
you?
Yeah, what's the next step, right?
Right.
I feel the next step is still finding our team, finding the right people that gel with us, work with us, and
That's what success means to you, is having the right team.
Is to have the right team, not per se A players, but players that are passionate in what they want to do and they're passionate in helping us.
Well, our A player, again, it's like, it's all perspective. It's like, okay, we just hired on a new person. I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows?
But I'm taking a chance too, just because like he's hitting all the marks that I need immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other things, I feel like they're just going to grow.
Yeah.
Or I hope they will grow. And I'm the type of leader to help that grow in the way that we need it to. But that also accepting like it's not a long-term thing. And then we had to like really come to grips with that meaning of, what is a successful team? Like, what does that look like with us? It's not necessarily people who are just going to stick with us forever, because like, who wants to do that? I don't know. It takes a very special person to want to do this with us for forever. I don't know who.
I feel the expectation of forever is not.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, and I don't think it will ever happen, because it's very rare to.
But that's what we thought.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I want to bring that up. It's like we had this naivete look at what it is to make a team, and you're gonna make this dream team, and
we've only been in business for 10 years, so there's no forever.
Yeah. But 10 years, when you look back, you can say to yourself, it's forever, and you get very comfortable, just like when you're very comfortable with John. And that was only like 2 years really solid.
It's only a solid 2 years, and that felt forever.
Yeah, you were telling me, oh man, I thought he would be there forever.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's important to realize, I think for the both of us, like it's very, and that it's okay, that it's going to be temporary, and that it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're failing.
Yeah.
And remember, we had to go say, oh, you know what? Businesses turn over new employees all the time. Yeah. It's just a part of business.
It's every 6 months, or it's every year, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think once we got perspective and we stopped being romantic about the idea of business, and that it's supposed to be this like, oh, this is my career, this is my one and only. Like, no, it's maybe our one and only.
Yeah.
But when we are trying to get other people on board, it's like we have to be very realistic and be able to see things through that other person's eyes.
Yeah, like the other thing that I feel what's wrong with the business, right? And I'm just going
the industry?
The industry as well. And what couples expect from a photography company that's shooting their wedding day. they are expecting a team that has been working together for a long time.
Yeah.
But
Why do you say that though?
Because they're always asking, oh, how long have they been working? Are they trained directly under you?
Yeah.
Do they have your style?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, styles adapt over time. Style doesn't adapt within 1 year. It doesn't adapt within 6 months if the hiring process was every 6 months of a turnaround time.
Right.
So it makes me wonder. It's like, why are they thinking this way? You know, like no one in this. I know wedding photography has been around for a long time, but the way that it is now hasn't. The trend started 10 years ago. The way when DSLR emerged.
What do you mean the trend?
The trend of shooting with digital cameras.
Oh.
You get quicker feedback, you get your photos quicker versus film, things like that.
Yeah.
So this vision for the overall business and what consumers view each photography company, I wonder what's going through their mindset. Is it seems like they are expecting a lot out from a photographer, a photography company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say a lot, what does that mean?
Like I just said, like, oh, how long has all your team members been with you?
A lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly think like not too many of them like the right client, right? And I make this argument all the time with you. Not argument, but debate. I debate you as to why a client would ask you that.
Yeah.
And I truly think, because I think we're the same way as a consumer, right? If you switch your mindset to the consumer wants to feel that they are educated, that they are doing their due diligence, that they are taking all the steps necessary to know that the dollars that they worked for is going towards something valuable and worth it. You could trust you, right? So they ask the question, how long have you been doing this? Honestly, I don't think they care. They're already like, if they're already talking to you, they're like, I like this dude's work. Now do I like him or her as a person? Usually, right? Like our type of client, the ones that gel with us and the ones that we actually want, not like price shoppers and stuff. Like they're just asking it to ask. And if they can generate conversation with you. If they just come in, they're like, what do I ask these people? Like how we talk to like other contractors, and we're just like, so how long you been doing this for? Like I honestly think it's most of the time it's chit chat, and it's just to generate and to ask and for them to ask questions and get to know you, and maybe
it's
they'll
just
say
to build some credibility and build some trust,
build some rapport with you. Maybe you start talking to someone, because I want to find out too. When we hired the water dude, I just start talking to him a little bit because I want to see what kind of person he is. Are you a sleazy person? Are you a cut and run person? Like I'm trying to figure that all out within like a couple of minutes. I can tell by your tone of voice. I can tell by enthusiasm or no. Like I can tell all that stuff, and that's not something so direct, but I think it's like subconscious most of the time. Like, do I vibe with you, right? So honestly, that's why I think they're like that. But can I ask you this? Like, do you agree?
I do agree.
Like you chit chat with your clients a lot. Like your consultations last like an hour.
Yeah, most of them.
Right.
I'm trying. For me as a photographer, I want to feel comfortable in working with the right clients.
You're interviewing them.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, they're also interviewing me. It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to feel comfortable the way I come off as a person.
Exactly.
And I have to feel comfortable the way they're coming towards me.
So it's
right.
It's
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's why in-person consultation is strong versus FaceTime. For some reason, FaceTime, even though it's like you can see each other and everything, but the things that get in the way is the technical aspect of it when the internet crashes or, things aren't working properly, and then it kind of kills the mood.
But if it's right, I haven't found a case where like there's definitely those times we had a FaceTime meeting because they weren't completely sold on the work, right? And so now you're gonna sell on your personality and your selling skills when you meet. And then when you meet during FaceTime, it's like, and then you have technical problems, and it's kind of like it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? Like if they weren't sold on like 1-2 things, then you really don't need to waste time trying to hold on to somebody who doesn't like want you.
Yeah.
You know, go to some people who love you. It's just like a relationship. It's like, why would I waste time with you if you don't love me? I'm going to go, you know, spend my time with somebody who loves me, who's going to appreciate my love. So same thing.
Okay.
So, well, let's get back to trust.
Yeah.
So
I know we went off tangent.
That's
because,
okay. That's okay.
I think you kind of think about it. Our relationship goes back and forth between our personal relationship and business because we both work together. So all of our conversations are kind of intertwined between business and personal.
That's past the aisle. Get used to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go back to trust. So you're saying that you were facing your challenges with trust. How so? Was that recently or?
Yeah, that was recently.
Okay.
But I kept it in. That was facing the challenge by just trust the process, trust the people that are helping you to succeed. So
why do you think that comes back?
It comes back.
It comes back every week.
It comes back every week because I'm not seeing any. Like I get as a business owner, you get impatient. You want to see all your trial and errors work, right? So we haven't seen. I mean, we've seen what we've done already, but with the new process of applying new changes, we haven't seen any progress yet. So
how come when I say, so for example, when we know December is slow, when we
Mhm.
know it's holiday, when we know it takes about a month to see results with certain things, why do you still have a fear within you, and why does it bother you?
because I'm comparing like the amount of meetings and the amount of bookings we have in the previous years, they're not matching up to what it is this year. It's been just a little slower than usual
during the holiday.
No, it's been slower, not just because of the holidays. Like
general.
So yeah, in the past 2 years, by the end of or by December or by the end of December, we probably have about 35 weddings booked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this year it's a little different.
Why do you think that is?
I'm not too sure. I mean, marketing probably the way you market changes every year. The generation is changing, so the people that are getting married are a lot younger than us. Trends are changing within the wedding industry. Mm-hmm. The economy, I'm not sure. People around our age are either saving up for a home versus their wedding, things like that. So there's many aspects that come into play. Yeah.
So I didn't hear anything. Those are all external things.
Yeah.
How about internally?
Internally, like the changes that we're doing internally, or
yeah. Well, how do you interpret that?
I would say we've been doing slightly the same things. So probably we have to change the way we've been doing things because these are probably really old methods.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, with that being said, and we're gonna, and you said the way that I've been marketing changes every year, and I haven't even been a full-time employee in the company until what? Next year probably. So I've always kind of been in and out, like when I can.
Yeah.
If I have time, like that. Right? So I think it's just going to be a whole lot more different. It's like a new square one, but we have all this experience. We have all this like know-how. I'm bringing knowledge from other industry into our industry. And we'll be starting, I think, on a fresh leaf, but it's not like a newbie, which is great. So I think there's a lot to look forward to, like when we spring into in 2019. And yeah, it won't be overnight, but at least we're both like on the same page and we're doing one thing only. That's
well, I would say I thought we've been starting that already since we left.
Yeah, but it doesn't take like super and plus, like I already said, which we slaved over a new offering from you, clarity within you, your internal. What's going on? What are you offering people? we can't do anything about external stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever's wrong in your life, I feel like, yeah, we can blame others. Like I can blame you for not giving me attention.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't go, hey B, let's hang out tonight, then I'm at fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what can we do internally, the business itself, or more specifically your offerings as a photographer and an artist?
Yeah.
What can you change? What can you bring differently, like we talked about? Right?
I feel it's better to do a survey than to actually take action.
Why?
Because it doesn't waste time if people can actually take a survey and say what changes do they want to see, what changes they will be interested in, versus just actually doing it.
It seems a little passive to me.
Because I feel like time is still valuable, and the changes that you want to do and what you want to offer as a wedding photographer, yeah, it's like, especially for myself, right? A person that's always out shooting during the week. But yeah, where do you want to apply those changes to?
Well, okay. So for example, this is one idea.
But going back to trust versus mistrust, is this all part of it?
This is.
Okay.
I've been telling you this for a long time. There's something in you that keeps going back, and I think it's a mistrust in whatever idea I have. Right? There's no enthusiasm there's never any enthusiasm to change your own price. Up or down, I don't really care.
Yeah.
It just has to be an offering that makes sense for you and makes sense to the relevancy of this market, right? So as long as it makes sense, because like you said, we've been doing the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm. So like, what's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different result.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do that. We want to be a little bit more smart. Like, I understand that you don't like change, so that's why I say, you as a photographer, as an artist, what are you willing to do? I said it's not what can we afford to do. We can afford to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
What are you willing to do? Are you willing to make like real human contact with your clients after the fact, before the fact, or whatever, when you don't have to? Like, how can you add value?
Yeah.
As the photographer, because you're the one doing it. They want a connection with you, but it's just I'm not asking you to give all your time.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you to do something different so that your photography package isn't just digital delivery. Mm-hmm. Right? So how can we add some value to that? It could be prints. It could be albums and stuff like that. Like, how does it make sense for the consumer? Right.
But yeah, it always kind of comes back to that. Those things aren't any different from any other photographer and what they offer. It's pretty basic.
But we don't do any of that.
Yeah, that's because
how can you talk?
Well, that's the thing, is we do provide albums.
Yeah.
But most of the time, there's couples that choose the ones that don't have albums, so it's not like they're interested in it.
Well, maybe you can make a package that isn't, costing an arm and a leg. And you can still generate money, and you can still generate value.
No, I feel it's not the product.
I mean, it's part of the value that they see. If you want people to spend more, how can you just offer one thing?
We aren't offering one
thing.
I feel like we're offering a lot.
Or the same thing. How can you offer the same thing but want to charge more? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't think it's the thing about charging more, right? I feel that this market for next year, people can't even afford, or people don't even want to spend. So it's not about charging more.
Well, yeah, I think they have to see the value of it. There's always going to be a high-end market. Always. Mm-hmm. Right?
Well,
There's
don't know.
Rogue, and we got that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some fool who's going to want Rogue, who's going to want the most expensive stuff, who's going to get all. Yeah, there's always going to be somebody like that. So why would you say, I want to make more money, or I want this type of client but still offer this?
So, what I've been reading is how about the entire industry was to go down?
Then you have to adjust. That's what I'm saying. Everything on the outside can
Yeah.
change. What are you doing? What are you doing in your mind? Right? Like we can be like I honestly think maybe this is just my positivity and not my negativity and thinking fear-based, because I know you were raised by a fear-based woman. So that's your challenge and
Yeah.
your habit to think that way. But that's my role, is to come here and provide you some positive, I don't know, balance over here.
Yeah.
Or argument, to be like, actually, you could see it like, oh, the economy is going to fall. Or you could say like, what am I going to do
Yeah.
when the economy falls? You already know that shit happens, right? Like, we have dips and falls, high rises and dips in the market. It's natural. So, okay, you can't control that. What can you control is what are we going to offer?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying to you. And I'll be here to help you communicate that. So, like, yeah, if you wanted to do a billboard, the reason why I wasn't for it, but like I told you, is because our offering does not match. You want to do a billboard and then you have X amount of dollars as your starting package. It doesn't make sense. Just like what Jenny said. I thought about what she said. She's like, dude, you got to come rise, because if I'm going to refer you, you have to match me.
Yeah.
I can't refer you if you're down here. What does that say to the client that's up here? Why are you referring me this lower end? Because they only see the number first, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying to you. So we can do billboards, but it has to match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it would have to make sense. Like, what's our offering? Yeah, I feel proud about putting that on a billboard. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Which we can do that. But, and you told me it's $20 a day. I was like, ooh, that's kind of steep. So
$20 is not steep.
Let's make it worth it. You want to spend $1 a day on Facebook ads.
Well,
all right. So don't tell me it's not steep for you.
$20 for people that are sitting in traffic to see you with 2,000 blips. That's pretty good.
They're not gonna go on their phone and click your link that's long as hell in their car. It's unsafe. It doesn't make sense. It would have to be entertainment based or brand building.
Yeah.
Right? And that's after the fact.
Okay.
So again, that's external. I want to challenge you to think internally, what can you offer? Then I think there you're going to really create ripple.
So I don't feel like the question should be what do I offers, what we as a company can offer.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like the question is always being pointed to me. What can I offer? What can I offer? You know, like I feel like I need ideas from everyone, a collaborative idea versus just one idea.
Mm-hmm. I gave you many.
So let's hear the one that you're interested in that we can actually progress toward.
The easiest one is creating some sort of keepsake, and I think the albums need to come down. They need to be integrated a little bit more, because people still love albums.
They are integrated. Oh. But you're saying you want to integrate them in all the packages, or?
Yeah. Like, wouldn't that be cool? I mean, if you just go, you thought about this a long time ago too, the one-stop shop idea. Remember, long time ago. If you can create a one-stop shop for somebody's memory, and for whatever value that we bring with our images.
But the amount of what it takes to create, design, and the amount that it takes to make an album.
Well, what else are you gonna do?
Not work? You gotta do something else.
Not work, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you're thinking about when the economy falls, right? Yeah. It is your like safety line mindset. So would you rather not make an album? Would you'd rather you not be working with clients? Like, we're so lucky now that we're booked. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying that mindset, I feel like you're not grateful. And I think we should be grateful for that and go, cool. this is work I can actually do. It's brainless for me almost, right, to make an album because I already know how to do it. You have help because I do them now, right? Mm-hmm. We can almost systemize it even more where we can crank out even more albums. If we need to change companies, that's fine, or whatever. Like, I don't know what the turnaround rate is. Like, we do not have to be so stickler about the quality of the album as long as we can get more people to buy into the service, right? It's just another way of thinking at it, because I feel like your artist brain, which is fine because you're the entrepreneur, you're the visionary, but it takes over in the way that you should manage the business for longevity.
So, that's where I feel like our roles have to change in the business.
Well, that's what I'm doing, but your mistrust in me is quite strong.
It is quite strong. It's probably because I'm not used to it.
I know.
Yeah.
So my challenge is to not take everything personally. And I think this podcast is helping me. Like, I feel like I forgive quicker than usual, so I think that's good. I think I could hold on to things longer, just like if you asked me a week ago, still have grudges or something. And now I feel a little bit less weighed down by my own grudges or my own unforgiveness. So, yeah, that's my role. I mean, like, for us to come here and do this practice of like debate about business and our marriage, I think it's good. So yeah, that's my role. That's what I plan to do. And every time you tell me some story about billboards or whatever, I'll just have to reiterate, well, why are we doing that? Does it make sense? Instead of shutting you down immediately, which that's what I did the first time, and then the second time I explained to you why.
Yeah. The other thing I've been thinking about, I mean, we've been in business for 10 years, right? And I feel there's this hump that we can't get over.
Why? What's that?
The hump of systemizing, just having things run on its own, right? And I still feel after 10 years, we're still doing everything and we're still having the same conversations. Feel like...
Well, finally you did the editing videos, so that will be kind of running on its own soon.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's like... there's still this hump.
Well, because we never really did it.
Yeah.
Like, I would like, and that's also my fault. It's like I would tell you, hey, there's a better way to do it. And then it's like, it's up to one of us to do the work. Like, the first part is so hard.
Because I remember, when you worked for Dan and June and they have Discovering the World business, right? And it looks like it's running, I don't know, was it pretty smooth in the back end? Or?
Nah, it's like us, man.
It was?
Yeah, it's like us.
But were they organized? Did they have a system? Was it?
They had their own system, but still it is them two coming into work same time.
Same time.
You know what I mean? They couldn't offhand everything, and that's the...
Did they have any trust, mistrust, miscommunications?
Oh, I'm sure.
Did you see anything?
I'm
you
sure.
worked there for like 2 years.
Was it 2 years?
Yeah.
Wow. So, Dan was very strict, in a good way. He was always fair but stern. June was very not stern, but always fair, and but their office looks like a small business office, full of papers, full of this and that, like still doing shit by hand, still still tallying stuff with pencil and paper.
Wow.
Tallying our wages, I think they had everything was written in pencil. Here you go. You know what I mean? So he was still back there punching, stamping Frisbees just like all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a crazy hard job, but he would be in there working. But I think that's the pride of a business owner. They're the pioneer. They did it. They did all that.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to pass it down. But this guy's in his 50s maybe.
No, he's probably older by now.
Well, by now, but back in the day, that's what I saw for the time that I was there.
Yeah.
And you had to call in and tell people, oh, I'm not going to be here, and he had to go find somebody. Like, same thing.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? or he'd give you a little, you're not gonna be here. You know what I mean? Like a father figure, you know, how he's running it. So it's very much like us.
Yeah. And we don't want it that way. We do want to grow past that.
Well, that's the thing. I think the challenge for us is to define what that is, because we don't need to look at them too much.
Mm-hmm.
They had their own culture. They definitely had a culture too, because every day you show up to work, you go here, right?
Yeah.
So they definitely had a cool culture. We don't have that, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You thought it would be better if everybody showed up to work at an office, and I'm like, but we're not even that type of person. So I just don't see that being a something that would live on, would be long term. I like my life the way it is now. I fought for this, you know, like not to drive somewhere. So I think for us is to really clarify what we're going to offer. If nothing changes, I think it's going to be quite difficult, because it's not about changing your whole, like, who you are. I think for you to understand that it's okay. Everything that you're doing now is okay. You're already letting go of editing, which is awesome. Yes, we're doing that. The next thing maybe would be email, and finding ways to train me, your other half, to help you with things that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, like, I don't want it to be like, you know how you call me every you call me 4 times or 5 times when you're out on the road just to like ask me something. I'm like, you can just make that decision on your own. Okay. So I don't want it to be like that, where I'm have to call you call you all the time and be like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
It should be, hey, this is your thing, you handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Get it done, because we live under the same roof. Duh. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I want the same with you. Is like, you want to hang it this way? Just do it. I don't care. You know, that's your thing. So the same thing with our business. It's like, as long as you train me at things, you know, step by step, starting at step 1 to step whatever, I'll know how to do it, and I'll do it the way that you want me to do it. And I think that's your next hurdle in terms of trust. And then trust me to do it, you know, which I'll do it. Like, I don't have why would I not do it?
Yeah.
You know? So maybe I should ask you, why do you not trust me to do certain things?
I think you already asked that.
Well, you're still doing it. So let me ask the question. So maybe there's another reason, like as always. One of them, you were like, I don't want to put too much work on you.
Yeah, because you don't want to be the person that does everything that I used to do, right?
But it's not everything, right? So
It's not
the
everything.
language has to change. I want you to think of it. My partner's here to help me.
But you already are focused on something that you're good at. It doesn't make sense to put something else that you're not good at and then be taught how to do it. Now
That's
you're
true.
going to lose focus on what you're good at.
That's true. But say, for example, albums. I can handle that. I can actually handle all of albums, right? But I don't think I've ever heard you go, okay, here, let's have you do albums because you're doing a good job at it. You know, here's the process. Handling money or handling like the accounting stuff. Yeah. Don't give me that. Obviously, like, you know how to do that, and then you're actually really good at it. So I'll give you the example. You could start with albums. How do we funnel albums to where I only see that and I get it done, and it's on me to do it, and now you don't have to worry about it? You know what I'm saying? So examples like that, we can take that same example and apply it to all the other million tasks that you have and be like, well, what's Megan good at? And how can we train her easily? And now she does it. Cool. That's it.
Yeah.
And then maybe I improve that system. And someday when we're like 50, I just hire somebody to do it.
That would be great.
Okay? And I know I've said this already, like, for a long time. So maybe the next question is, I think you already know, Like, that's the process of how you would hand stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
But how come you don't want to do it? Or how come we have not done that?
I'm not sure. It's probably, it's like, it feels like another chore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels
Okay.
like, okay,
I have to train her.
yeah, you have to step out of your zone
Mm-hmm.
that you're so much comfortable with. Like, you have an agenda for a day, and then anything that adds on top of that agenda is just more work, right?
Yeah.
And then the challenges that I face to myself, like, I shouldn't feel this way because this is for us. This is what we're working for.
Because one day you won't have to do it. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Instead of still
But
doing it 20 years
it's
later.
just, like, when you've been working so much, right? And I felt that finally we get to relax this month.
Yeah.
But then to add more stuff, to just keep on going, we just really haven't had a really long vacay of not touching our computers.
Well, that's why I've been taking it easy.
Yeah.
Because I want to rest too.
Yeah.
My brain is like, you're always asking me, what can we do? So my brain is always like on. It's like on defense too, because I have to defend myself from you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, he's going to ask me this dumbass question. And I say dumbass because it's like, I had this conversation already. And then I get really frustrated explaining myself, and it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get frustrated. But so it just sounds like a stress management thing. And like, if you want to take a break this month, I think that's perfectly fine. And if we just make the intention, I just heard this in a podcast yesterday. It's like, just make the intention to relax. Like, tell yourself, like, you must have some own self-discipline and self-care to say, hey, self, let's not work today. And then don't feel guilty for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you feel bad, or maybe you judge yourself harshly because you're not working, or if you don't answer that email right away. And that's your survival, mechanism kicking in.
Yeah.
But like I said in the last show, we're 10 years in. You have a very good brand. As long as you explain it the right way, and you only had 10 hours in between answering this email, like, I think you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to tell yourself that.
Yeah.
Not me. I'll tell you that all day long. You have to be like, oh, I'm going to take a break, and I am damn well going to take a real break and feel 100% okay with that. Do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
See?
Well, usually I never take breaks.
Exactly.
Like, if it's not work, I'm working out or I'm doing something. I never can sit down and do nothing. I just don't know. I get so jittery. I have so much energy that I just need to expel.
You know what was interesting, right? So I was listening to this podcast, and it's this old guy named Gabor Mate. Mm-hmm. And he is a Jewish survivor of the Holocaust. Mm-hmm. Not Holocaust, but like during that time.
Yeah.
So he's now this professor. He teaches. He's very well known, and he has ADHD.
Oh, okay.
So
you're saying I have ADHD?
I think you do a little bit. In a way that you're just and it's not a disease. He was explaining, after he was diagnosed, he went all in to figure out what it was. So he's like, dude, I'm always fidgety. I can never sit still. I could never do yoga. I always recommend it, but I never do it. And he's an older gentleman from Hungary. And he was like, the moment I got diagnosed, I started to go, okay, seeing all of the social stigma surrounded with ADHD, and they want to put you on Ritalin, they want to put you on all this stuff, right? And they're trying to get you to sit down and, just like keep still and stuff, right? And the problem is not stemming from a disease or a genetic something wrong with you, but it's actually stemming from, he believes, this is his argument, stemming from trauma.
Huh.
So trauma meaning something happened to you in your formative years when you were a child that made you want to just, somebody's not paying attention to you.
Yeah.
And now that I know your like life story a little bit more this year, and you had a very kind of lonely childhood. You know, you're in that thing, and you always want somebody to play with, and you would go to Target by yourself.
Yeah.
And just walk by yourself, like, so you're always looking for somebody to play with, right? So I just thought that was pretty interesting because it reminded me of you.
Yeah.
And that.
So that's ADHD.
I think so. You're not diagnosed, but I think you have this something happened to you when you're young, and it affected how you deal with stress and how you deal with energy, a lot of energy in your body.
Yeah.
Just how you deal with it, right? So they will label this as ADHD, and already in people's minds they go, "Oh, that's a disease that you have to take a pill for, or whatever. Or it's this weird condition, right?"
Yeah.
But it's actually just this kind of. He described it as a defense mechanism to the trauma that one received when they were a child.
Yeah.
So I think it makes a lot more sense now that why you're so like, you gotta do this. You only play games to play with people, like. So I see now. So what he did to help himself was to just gain more self-awareness. Mm-hmm. So instead of you saying, I don't know why I'm like that, and then period, and then go back to your life.
Yeah.
Like maybe ask some inquisitive questions about you. Like get to know you more, because you just, for whatever reason, again, because you're a man and it's not really maybe appropriate for a man to dive into his feelings and all that stuff, or like you always tell me, I never really thought about it. Yeah. And that's okay.
No, I never even thought about if that even links to ADHD.
I'm just theorizing. I'm not saying that's true.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm not a doctor. I'm just going, I'm looking at the patterns and the patterns of your life story, and I'm comparing it to this, and I just go, I'm just making some observations.
Maybe it's just, it's just the way you were influenced when you were young, but not the ADHD part.
I don't know. Like, I don't know why you can't keep still, or why, like.
No, I can keep still.
But it's painful for you. I can see you. You're still like moving. Can you find silence? I don't know. But anyway, this is just for you to ask the inquisitive question of yourself. Oh, like, get to know you. Instead of just saying, like, not taking responsibility for your own behavior, your own thought pattern.
Yeah.
Like before, I'd be like, well, I'm only mad at your behavior, not you personally.
Yeah.
Why do you do that behavior? And you're like, I don't know. That's just the way I am. It's not acceptable. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? It's like, if I just remain the same quiet person and I didn't change and I didn't evolve myself to be a better partner for you, probably wouldn't be with me. Mm-hmm. Same, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think I'm just inviting you to learn more about you. That's all.
Yeah.
And, I will do the same for myself. Like, okay, I see why I snap, or I see why I'm short or irritable. Mm-hmm. And then how can I be better at that?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be black and white. Like, it doesn't have to be like, I need to be good tomorrow or perfect tomorrow. No, I just be aware, like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why I can't stop working. That would be a question for you. Mm-hmm. I wonder why I can't put my phone down or have to answer this email. So be gentle with yourself. I wonder why. Not, oh, I did it again. No, it's not that. I don't want to attack you for it. Just be inquisitive.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. But I'm having brain overload right now.
That was just interesting because I heard it yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was interesting.
Seat's uncomfortable. That's why.
You can fold it up. It is.
There's no arch support.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, okay. I
just thought it was interesting. It reminded me of you.
The Jewish guy from Hungary.
Yeah.
Hungary?
Hungary, yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah. Yeah. His family was escaping a Jewish.
What was the podcast?
It's Tim Ferriss's podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. His name is Gabor Mate.
Oh, like
Yeah.
yerba mate.
Yeah, yerba mate. But I thought it was pretty cool. So, in terms of your trust, going back to our topic,
Yeah.
do you feel that you're better trusting?
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Are you starting to see things where you used to not trust and then now you're maybe trusting?
Definitely from all of our talks, have brought more awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I've been able to catch myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing less complaining, which is awesome. Because I know the complaining just comes from a fear of I don't see the results that I want. And
Yeah.
and I'm like I have a trouble finding the words to like make you feel better that you're not seeing the results that you want. Because I do want you to see, of course, I want to see good results too. But like I had to go through my own like, oh, I shouldn't be stern all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I shouldn't always be coming down on people. And then I heard another podcast with Bart and Gio. You know how they started a company too, right? And so
what company?
When they opened the gym, Barbell Brigade, and they had to hire all these people.
Yeah.
Like a lot more than we've done. And they were saying the same things. Oh, I have to train them. And then when they don't do it correctly, I'm like, why are you so stupid? Like they're more freer with their words on their podcast, which is hilarious. They're like, why are you so stupid? I told you this, right? So like, I was like, but that's how we feel, but we don't say it.
Yeah.
We say it to each other. And
we won't say it from this.
No, of course not. But like, they would be, feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, like what it means to really train somebody and to be in somebody else's shoes. And yes, like you said, oh, you're not me, so you can't.
Yeah, it's a mental game.
Yes.
Seriously, like the entire business aspect,
Yeah.
everything relating to business is mental. Like now that we're officially like working together now, it's a mental game for both of us. It's a mental challenge to put our minds together and try and step into the people that we work with and try and figure out their personality and their work methods and everything, so that's always a challenge because they have their own personal life that we can't control. That's what's different. And then they sometimes bring their personal life into work, and now we're trying to help them out because we're that type of people that we want to hear what their problems are, because if we can help them in some way with their mental challenges, then they'll feel better when they work for us.
Right.
And it's the same exact way with Super Jewelry back in the day. You guys made the golden rule to get the problems out, so when you come to work, you're at peace.
Yeah, that's true. That really helped.
So there's a lot of mental challenges behind business, like in all aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even the business part. Like that, that's there.
Yeah, the business is not, it's the people.
It's you.
It's all of us. If you think about it, I mean,
yeah,
I
true.
work with you, you work with me, you don't
That's
gel
what they
with
said
me,
too.
I gel with you, like things like that. You're consumers, are people that are like, so say if I was a product, I was a toy, and they bought me, like a mannequin or something. Hey, his arm broke. Who they're going to complain? They're going to complain to the business owner or the company that made the product, right? So it's the connection.
Yeah.
It's so like mentally draining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you rather do something else?
No. Yeah, I would never do anything else. Like after working, even a college job, like
painful, huh?
Yeah.
That was your only job
Yeah.
that you got paid a wage for. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always like, oh, I'm going to work, but I'm like, you don't get paid for that. That's what I mean when you were a nurse.
Yeah.
I was like, but you don't get paid. Anyway. Okay. So let's switch gears. Let's talk about you sent me 2 articles. This impending fear upon you that the wedding industry is not what it's going to be in the future. There's a term called micro weddings coming out that's going out there.
Well, it's been around for the past 2 years.
Yeah. And people aren't spending as much as they used to. And what's the other article that you gave me? Let me see here.
Where it says wedding photography is dead.
Yeah, wedding photography is dead. Okay. Your survival guide to the marriage market. Okay. So let me give you a breakdown. This was really cool because Jeff, my mentor, put out this thing like he always does watching real estate. And Wall Street Journal is a big company, a media company.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for them to make money, they put out articles, they run ads and all that stuff. So their ultimate goal is to make money, right?
Yeah.
How do you do that as a media company? You run fear-based ads. Okay. So let that sink in.
No, yeah, erase something.
Okay, so you got it, right?
Yeah.
Boom. So these articles that you're reading, right, they
Yeah.
have an agenda. So the same way that the market crashes is because somebody's inducing fear.
Yeah, why are they
you
doing
better go
that?
get your money because whatever's going to crash. And then everybody tells everybody, the next thing you know, everybody's running to the bank, and now the bank is failing. So,
But
fortunately...
why would they want that? Why wouldn't they want to tank the economy?
Because they have some other underlying cause, because they're in a what do you call it, in a bull market, which is when the market is low, right?
Mm-hmm.
They who got all the money already, not the average Joe, the 1%er, now has the ability to whoosh, be a whale and buy everything, right? And so every now and again they pull the strings, like the Federal Reserve that is privately owned. They pull the strings in their favor and make it seem that it's, this thing that you can't understand to the lay person, because we are the majority, and like a sheep, we're just like, oh, the market's gonna crash. And so everybody believed that because they don't really understand the real system. So the real system is, who is this person writing these fear-based ads to make money off you? Click that shit. All right, click that shit. Okay, now we get some more people because it's fear-inducing, because a fear-inducing headline is more catching than a positive one. Hey, everybody, wedding industry is going to be great next year. Nobody's going to click that shit. You just look at it and you're like, tight. Instead of, you see the headline and it goes, wedding photography industry is dead. What the fuck? You click that shit, and then now what happens?
They make money.
They make money. And now you're in this fear-induced thing. It's like, why? That's external from you.
Yeah.
Even if it did go down, honestly, I'm so positive about what you can do as an artist, about what I can do as a manager to help you with your vision and with what you want to do. I'm like confident. And that's why I have so much trouble that you don't have trust in us. You trusting this article, besides our own capability to get shit done, no matter what the circumstance, because obviously we were able to do stuff in really tight situation, and we weren't even 100% focused. Remember? We had some tough times where, like, I was still pulled 3 ways. You were getting pulled so many ways, and you still got stuff done. There was never a time where we were really suffering.
But it's still different. To be honest, it is different in a way that DSLRs, cameras, are more affordable nowadays.
How is this different from 10 years ago when that was the case? That was the story.
Affordable.
It was.
But now those people that grew up into the wedding industry or just any photography industry, they're just selling their old equipments at a very affordable rate, so people can just buy their hand-me-downs, and they just call themselves a photographer.
Are you being devil's advocate? Because it doesn't make any sense. Are you threatened by some newbie with a new camera?
No.
Okay, so what do you have to worry about?
there's just a flood of photographers in the state.
Let them come.
But it's supply and demand. There's too much supply.
Supply of shit or good shit?
Who knows?
Exactly. So if you're in the good shit area, right? Like we said before, I remember this very clearly, and I think this lesson was really like, it really stuck with me because hella people were coming through with new DSLRs, right? And we're like, oh, you're here. Oh, you're here. Pasadena is freaking flooded with photographers, right? And what happened? We're like, let them come, because in a couple of years, you're going to see what it means to run a business, and you will not last. So, like,
yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Like a natural survival Darwinian thing will come through, and only the strong will survive. So I feel like we're in that camp already, as long as we keep our mind in the right place, in a positive place, in a confident, trusting place. You can join them, and then your business will probably fail because you're competing with low-end people.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what it is for you to break free of the fear, which I do understand because Jeff gave me some good insight. There's a lot of pressure on you to provide for this family, right? And I think it always kind of comes down to that: is do I have the money to provide for us?
Yeah.
Right. And I think you always tell me that at the end of everything, like when I dig behind all that shit, it's like, do I have money for my mortgage? Do I have money for my bills and to take care of my mom? That's it. And I'm like, okay, if I can just understand that, I will understand your fear and where you're coming from, which I do. I always have that in mind. I'm always grateful for it. But I can't join you there. Yeah. I have to be here. I have to, hey, let's go. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Like, let's go change. Let's go do something else then.
Yeah.
I don't care about that article. I don't care about that person. I don't care if they're failing. We are going to succeed in our own way. Mm-hmm. So that's all I have to say about that.
You right. You right. Yeah, those damn fear articles. They always
but isn't that cool? Where now you go, oh, they're just trying to make money.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I caught it before. But then now I'm like in this fear mindset. It traps you actually.
Because you keep going back and you keep sending me. I don't click on that shit. Yeah. I don't click on it.
Yeah.
For one, I just don't like to surround myself with it. Mm-hmm. So keep surrounding yourself with good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, things that you want to change. Maybe things that inspire you. I think the more that you surround yourself with all of this fear-based stuff, like it poisons your mind.
Yeah.
And then you're not you. And you can't be an artist.
Yeah, I feel like we got travel.
Traveling? So that's what will make you more positive?
Well, it allows me to escape from what I normally see day to day or weekly. It's just different environment that kind of sparks that juice to be more creative. So when you come back, you just come back fresh.
Can I challenge you where you don't need any of that? Like, what if you had the ability not to spend any money and just to go, beep, I don't care. You can't touch me.
What do you mean?
So if you see something that scares you.
No, I'm talking about creativity in photography.
Because you can't always travel.
Yeah, you can't always travel.
Yeah.
For example, Laguna Beach. Every photographer freaking dreads going there.
Yeah.
I just bumped into Jimmy Kennedy, which is another photographer that shot my cousin. I bumped into him while we were out in Glamis. He's like, yeah, this I came out here and I suggested this place is because it's not Laguna Beach. Like, I'm right there with you. I totally understand.
3 hours away.
Yeah. It's different and it brings out like the excitement as an artist to see something new.
So you feel better out there?
No, once you get to play a little bit, right? test out your creativity or whatever it has to be out there, and you bring it back home. So Laguna Beach is like the home, and now you're gonna see Laguna Beach differently. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's like a maintenance thing. You kind of have to travel out to find inspiration again.
I see.
Just like chefs, they travel around the world and they bring it back home.
Okay.
And they work on their own recipe or whatever.
Okay. Well,
it's the same thing. I feel like it's different because you don't travel Laguna Beach and you haven't shot there like 3 times per week.
No, but I hear about it every week, and so like, but you complain hardcore about having to go to Glamis.
Well, I mean, it's just a drive, but once you're there,
when you're there, it's nice.
It's serene, yeah.
You get inspired there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like LA.
I mean, LA is always
same
LA.
thing. Like I'm always like talking shit about LA, and then I go there, I'm like, this is nice.
I love LA. It's a hate-love relationship.
Like, it's just getting there.
Just getting there.
Getting in and getting out. I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
I don't hate Laguna Beach. I love Laguna Beach.
Yeah.
It's
like when you get there, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you.
It's just we're very congested in California.
I don't know if we have anybody in our chat. Uh-oh. We have a bad stream health.
Why?
I don't know.
There's Wi-Fi here. So what did that do?
I'm not sure.
Made our video quality bad?
Maybe.
Oh.
We're just gonna find out. I think we had a good conversation anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So are you good? Did you want to discuss
good.
everything?
That was pretty much everything off my chest.
Okay, that's good.
How do you feel?
I feel a little bit better too. Like I'm getting better tools to help. I don't like to say defend. Tony said, "Oh, your language is always like attack, defend, attack. Like you're in a war." And I'm like, well, that's how I feel. But I don't want to feel like that. Like you're attacking me or I have to defend against you. So I want to say like I think I'm gaining better tools to be more communicative.
Yeah, because if you guys say you're not very nurturing as a person.
Well, because it's
there's something in your like the way that you speak to people. It's very straight.
Stern.
Yeah, very
that's
stern.
What they say, it's stern.
So it kind of intimidates people, and
yeah.
I would say I don't know if I'm stern. You would say
you're stern.
I'm stern, but I say in a nice way, or
no, you're really nice to like other people.
Yeah.
But you're really stern with me or like with people related to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, with John, with Steven, you're different. And I think it's the familiarity that you can be completely yourself. So it's like I learned that from you too.
Yeah.
Granted I'm already stern, right? But there's a strictness that you have.
Yeah.
Especially regarding, your business, which is now, using the language that is like, oh, this is our business. I'm still struggling to think of it fully like that. I still always kind of think this is yours, and not truly mine. I try to catch myself and say our and we and this is what we do.
Yeah.
But sometimes just very unconsciously, I'm just like, well, it's what you want to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's what you want to do. But I think overall I'm not really there yet to have myself feel like, because we haven't really done anything yet. So maybe that will change in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But I am aware of it, and I'm trying to catch myself to not think of it as you're over there and I'm over here. It just sometimes kind of feels that way, and it kind of works nicely that way sometimes, where just trust me to do my job, I'll trust you to do yours, and then when we have to cross over, when I have to ask you a question, I don't like to ask questions either. I just to like try to figure it out first. But then if I'm really stuck and I have to ask you, and then I have to ask you, and you're like, I gotta stop my whole day to explain this in 10 minutes, even though it's 10 minutes, it's like your whole world is collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we just have to be, we're just not used to it yet. Like working together, really.
Yeah.
Like whenever we have to cross the bridge, it's like difficult.
Mm-hmm.
From one end to the other, it's like difficult on both ends. I'm like, why are we arguing about this right now? So I think that's part of the challenge too, like just what it means to really be on the same page. So yeah, I think it's really bad connection in here.
Oh. Well, at least we tested it out.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's past the aisle for you.
We got some work to do, and
Yeah.
I think we did some really great progress. I think you've done an amazing job of being enthusiastic, changing your whole demeanor. Things feel much more genuine from you.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. It makes me emotional. So, and then we had a really nice vacation, so it's good.
Yeah, and I mean, a part of that is that I don't have weddings.
Yeah, like too, when we're not working, we're like much more relaxed and less irritable.
Because there's just so much to do.
There's so much to do. Yeah, I'm stressed out too. Yeah, I need a break. So yeah, if you can have the intention this month to be like, if you want to take a break, let's take a break. Just attend to things as they are. That's how I'm doing. That's why I'm playing a lot of games right now, because I know we have a break. And then in the following month is going to be game time. So
yeah, I
won't be able to play as much. So play games and try to enjoy.
Yeah, we're in it.
Yeah.
This is my game.
You better have a 6-pack. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. If the stream did cut out, I'm sorry. That sucks. So we'll see you next time. Right. We'll try to do better next time.
All right, later guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop.